sports medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education, but also the experience.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Craw. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Welcome in everybody to the Hutzel Athletic Center for tonight's Crossroads League showdown between the number 8 ranked team in the country, the Spring Arbor University Cougars, out of Michigan, taking on your University of St. Francis Cougars. Currently 12-8 overall, 5-3 in the Crossroads League. Spring Arbor at 17-3 overall, 7-1 in conference play, is in first place in the CL. St. Francis currently tied for third place with Marion and Mount Vernon As with that 5-3 record, and Indiana Wesleyan with a 6-2 conference record is currently in second place. Actually, Indiana Wesleyan lost back-to-back games here in conference play, starting with their defeat here at the Hut, 85-71 against your Cougs. And then a game later, they traveled to Spring Arbor, where they lost 96-86. So the Wesleyan Wildcats, who opened up the season number 1 in the country, NAI Division II, suffered back-to-back losses to the squads you're about to see on display tonight. We're going to read from our game day program put together by Sports Information Director Bill Scott. And it says, tonight is just the start for the University of St. Francis NEIA top 25 number 8 Spring Arbor invades the hut for the first of 6 USF games against NEIA top 25 teams in the final 10 games of the regular season in Crossroads League play. Spring Arbor is one of 4 CL teams in the top 15 in the NEIA top 25. And Bethel is number 16, given the Crossroads League 5 in the most recent top 25. Of course, pretty much all season long, the Crossroads League has had 5 teams in the top 25. It's already regarded as the best conference in the country, usually year in, year out with 4 teams in the top 25, but this year the conference is as good as it's ever been, once again with 5 squads ranked in the top 25. A USF upset would really tighten an already tight Crossroads League race. Spring Arbor leads number 3 ranked Indiana Wesleyan University by a game, and 3 teams are tied for 3rd place, as we stated earlier. Spring Arbor won the first meeting when then number 16 USF, the Michigan Cougars, winning at 82-67 on November the 20th in the Crossroads League opening game for both teams. Austin Compton led USF in scoring with 14 points. Luke Barber led Spring Arbor with 17 points. SAU's only loss was a 73-67 decision at Taylor. That was on December the 1st. Spring Arbor has won 5 consecutive Crossroads League games, including an 89-86 win over then number 5 Marion and a 90-85 double overtime win at number 5 Mount Vernon Naz, and that was on January the 8th. Spring Arbor's 5th consecutive Crossroads League win came in a 78-68 decision over number 16 Bethel on January the 12th. USF has won 4 consecutive games against NEIA top 25 teams. The most recent win, a 71-62 decision at number 8 Southeastern Florida on December the 15th. USF followed that up, right before that was a win against number 21 Warner out of Florida. That was part of the Southeastern Classic. USF this past Saturday rallied in the second half to keep Goshen College out of the win column in Crossroads League play with an 87-81 win, and that snapped a 3-game slide for your Cougs. All 5 USF starters scored in double figures, led by Connor Lotzenheiser, who had 21, and Chandler White, who had 19. In Crossroads League only games, Spring Arbor's leading scorer is Brandon Durnell, a Fort Wayne, Indiana native who went to Homestead High School. He is averaging 17.8 points per game, ranking number 10 in the Crossroads League. Durnell is shooting 58% in Crossroads League only games, which ranks him number 2 in the CL. USF guard Austin Compton is shooting 57% in the Crossroads League only games, and which ranks him number 3 in that category. Well, my name is Jeff Mahoney. We have Josie Murphy on camera, and joining me today in the booth is Alec Hammond, who graduated from Spring Arbor in 2018. And Alec, it's been a great start so far for Spring Arbor University. Anytime you can hold down the number 1 spot in the Crossroads League, you got things going for you. Are you pretty surprised with the start for Spring Arbor?
To be honest, I really am. I thought at the beginning of the year they lost, I think it was 6 or 7 pieces from last year. But as we discussed before, they brought back the core of the team, have 2 good senior leaders, and then obviously Brandon Durnell, who like we talked about, came out of Fort Wayne, is picking up that slack where they left off. And Paul Marindet, I'll quote you, and what you said is the real deal. He carries the team, and they go as Paul goes. And like we talked about, I am surprised at their start, but they are performing well at the moment.
Well, and talking about Paul Marindet, last year he was All-Crossroads League first team as a point guard. He also made the All-Crossroads League defensive team. So anytime you got a guy that can stop the rock and can dish out 127 assists on the season, which he currently has, he ranks number 2 in NAIA D2, averaging 6.4 assists per game. Marindet, quite a player. played at Warsaw High School, where he teamed up with Kyle Mangus, a name most Crossroads League fans will recognize. Mangus last year was the Freshman of the Year in the Crossroads League, the Player of the Year in NAIA and the Crossroads League, and he was first team All-American and first team All-Crossroads League, all as a freshman. Well, those two teamed up together at Warsaw, had a 25-2 record, which is just outstanding. Marindet, once again, last year, did not play towards the end of the season. I'm not sure what went wrong there, if it was a suspension or whatnot, but Spring Arbor really missed him down the stretch. Brandon Durnell certainly showing off here in his sophomore year for Spring Arbor. He ranks number 14 in the country, shooting 58% from the field. Keep an eye out for Luke Barber, number 10. Barber's a senior guard. He's hit 59 three-pointers already, averages 3 threes made per game, which ranks him number 19 in the country, shooting 47% from beyond the arc, which ranks him number 23 in the country. Another hot shooter is Tom Hamilton, who is shooting 49% from beyond the arc, ranking him number 10 in the country. And lastly, Jeff Beckman, who was All Crossroads League honorable mention a year ago, has 172 rebounds on the year, ranks him number 24 in NEIA, averaging 8.6 rebounds per game. Beckman, only a junior out of Shelby, Michigan. Looking at your Cougars, St. Francis has been led all year by Connor Lotzenheiser, a steady force for St. Francis, the junior guard who won a state championship at Crestview High School out of Convoy, Ohio, has been a real leader and has stepped up after the Cougars graduated so much talent last year, including Evan Henry, Bryce Linnup, and Derek Heinen. He's averaging 15.7 points per game, which leads St. Francis while shooting 44% from the field. Hunter Hollowell, the sophomore sharpshooter from Huntington North High School, Huntington, Indiana, ranks number 24 in the country. With his 57 three-pointers made, he averages 3 per game, just like Luke Barber does. He's shooting 49% from beyond the arc, ranking him number 12 in the country. And another name you got to keep an eye out for is Austin Compton, the junior point guard. As I like to say, the Cougars go as Austin goes. When he's hot and he has a big game making his shots, the Cougars are almost unstoppable, as we saw in the wins over number 1 Indiana Wesleyan back on December 4th, 85-71. And the Cougars followed that up with the big win against number 15 Bethel, 82-69. So once again, last year, Spring Arbor finished 7th in the conference. The Cougars finished 2nd in the conference and made it all the way to the NEIA National Championship game. Alec, heading into this game right here, what do you think the keys are for Spring Arbor's success?
I think for Spring Arbor, they have to be consistent at putting the ball in the basket, and they have to defend. They pride themselves on their defense, and we know St. Francis can score the basketball, and Spring Arbor at times goes on lapses where they have trouble scoring. So they got to put the ball in the hoop consistently and then just continue to do what they do and play defense.
Well, Spring Arbor has been one of the more consistent teams scoring this year in the country. They rank number 10, shooting 49% from the field. Number 31 from beyond the arc, shooting 39% from three-point land, and ranked number 17 from the free throw line, hitting 76% of their free throws. So certainly a job well done by Coach Ryan Cottingham, who's in his 20th season at Spring Arbor. Of course, he's a Spring Arbor graduate. Folks, we're going to send it down to our PA announcer for the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Let us pray that the Lord will get from given us to get to this day, and its coaches, officials, and fans. Keep us all safe and free from harm and injury. Help us to love and respect each other and ourselves. The words of St. Francis light the darkness of our minds and hearts. Give us a right faith, firm hope, and a perfect charity, so that we may always and all be connected according to your holy will. Amen. Please remain standing in the flag of the national anthem by the Cougar Pep Band.
have it, folks. The starting lineups for today's game. Once again, Ryan Cottingham in his 20th season, the head coach for Spring Arbor. And the coach for your Cougars is Chad Lacrosse in his 9th season with the squad. And what a resume for Coach Lacrosse. Last year, NAIA runner-up. 2017 went to the Sweet 16. 2016 NAIA runner-up. 2016, that was the magical season, regular season, and Crossroads League Tournament Championship. So never an easy thing to do. In the center circle for the tip for St. Francis, number 32, Jeffrey Reynolds. And getting the jump will be Jeff Beckman for Spring Arbor. Here at the Hut, we're used to Chandler White scoring first for the Cougs, so we'll see if the senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Carroll High School can get it going once again. But no, it's Lotzenheiser off the tip, getting the scoring started for your Cougars. Now taking the feed out of the corner, Beckman down low on the block. Nice contest there by Reynolds. Once again, just a true freshman. We're going the other way with Lotzenheiser, feeds the post. Chandler White drew contact with the bunny.
Got his position early there, one dribble, went to work, easy layup.
For Chandler White, kind of like a LeBron type, to where he can almost play any position on the court because he's so big and strong. He can deal with a lot of those centers. Right now, White is matched up with Durnells. The catch and shoot is good from 15 feet. That's Luke Barber.
Well, doing what Luke does, shooting the ball, and there he got that one.
Compton on the other end matching up against Paul Marindet. A nice matchup tonight. Marindet, once again, all Crossroads League first team a year ago as a sophomore. We'll see if he can do that again here in his junior year. It's looking like from an assist standpoint that will happen for him, but there are some good point guards here in the CL. Nice pump fake by Lotzenheiser, hits the floater for his second bucket.
Low shot clock there, I think there was 3 seconds left. Bailed him out, finished it, got another 2 points, 3 for 3 to start for the Cougars.
Marindet for 3, misses off the heel, rebounded by Compton for Marindet. He just shoots 26% from beyond the arc, hitting 8 of 31 entering today's game. Here on the near wing, Lotzenheiser working off the pick by Chandler White, who sinks down to the block. Hunter Hollowell is the sharpshooter for your Cougars, only a sophomore, listed at 6'4". Hollowell listed at 6'5". Compton's three-pointer's no good. Ripping away the rebound was White, trying to save it, throws it away. In transition, Durnell down low has his shot blocked. That was a combination between Reynolds and Compton, and Reynolds once again with the stuff.
Yeah, thought he had a little man on him, however, got it beat right back to him.
One-on-one, that was Marindet with the block on Chandler White.
Back and forth action here, a lot of good defense being shown so far at the rim.
6-2 is your score, and Marindet's going to head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Well, this game has definitely lived up to the hype so far, Alec.
It has, for sure. We just said a lot of good defense at the rim. However, they called a foul there. They let him play for the first 2.5 minutes, which I thought has been good action. But so far, St. Francis started off hot. Spring Arbor's got to find a way to get it going.
We're looking at Paul Marindet on the season, shooting 78% from the charity stripe, hitting 87 of 111. Entering today's game, hits the first of 2.
Yeah, going back to what you're talking about from Marindet for 3. If you're an opposing team and you're gonna let Marindet shoot threes, I mean that's the way you want him. You don't want him in that lane. You want him shooting the 3-pointers like we talked about. He doesn't shoot very well from deep.
Marindet entering today, averaging 15.8 points per game, which is second best for Spring Arbor as he pulls his team to within 2, hitting both free throws. White now handling the rock. He's being guarded by number 10, Barber, the senior. Barber listed at 6'4", White at 6'3". Now they switch it up. White left alone here on the near wing. Dribble drive down in the paint. The kick out goes to Compton, top of the key. Nice spin move in the lane. Extra jump stop as Compton finishes at the cup.
That's a great take on one of the best defensive players in the nation right there. That is a heck of a layup.
Austin Compton, I like to call him sneaky good.
I completely agree. That was sneaky spin right there, and he finished it.
Marindet right hand take. And we got a turnover. Looks like a foul going to be called on number 10, a block on Barber.
Yeah, he wouldn't quite set there. It's one of the points of emphasis this year is those illegal screens, and they got him for it.
16:56 left to play here in the first. 8-4 your score here from the Hut. Anticipated matchup. This is a stretch of the season. The Cougars really need to get some of these victories, as that's turned over by Lotzenheiser. A little miscommunication with White. St. Francis, this is the second matchup against Spring Arbor, currently ranked number 8 in the country. And then the Cougars will be on the road this Saturday as part of a doubleheader with the women's team at number 5 Mount Vernon Naz. So if St. Francis can pull off back-to-back victories here, it's really going to help their cause as we are in the second half of conference play, and obviously the national tournament on the horizon.
Yeah, just back-to-back really unforced turnovers there from both teams. Just early on, 3.5 minutes in, teams still trying to find their way.
Alec, last year, what do you think was one of the bugaboos for Spring Arbor? Once again, last year finishing 7th place with an 8-10 conference record.
I just think our Spring Arbor's offense got extremely stagnant last year at times. There'd be 4 or 5 minute spurts where just can't find a bucket, and that kills you in basketball at any level.
Reynolds had a hard time finding the bucket there on that beautiful pass by Compton. Durnell contested, could not hit. Rebounded by White here on the near wing. Shot fake, finds Compton. He'll do the same with the drive. He's walled off by Marindet. Latzenheiser for 3, just left short. Grabbing the board there was Jeff Beckman.
Yeah, both teams have gone cold here. Give it a few minutes. I'm pretty sure this will amp its pace back up.
Jeff Beckman with 6 double-doubles on the season, ranks number 2 in the Crossroads League in that category, as the bucket's good by Hamilton.
Yeah, St. Francis defender fell down there, pretty much a freebie layup.
That's stripped away, Marindet, and they're going to say last touch by Austin Compton.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was or not, but I'm sure Spring Arbor will take a good defensive play there from the Cougars.
Well, here with 15:28 remaining in the first, we have a media timeout. We'll be right back with you with more Cougar basketball action here from the Hut.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Craw. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back here to the Hutzel Athletic Center. Once again, your Cougars up 8-6 over Spring Arbor. These two teams definitely know each other well. And after the last win by Spring Arbor back on December the 1st, it's St. Francis who leads the series 26-21 all time over the Michigan Cougars. St. Francis currently shooting 50% from the field while holding Spring Arbor to just 29% shooting. Feed goes down low. Now it's Marindet posting up Compton. Help defense by Hollowell as the fadeaway is good. Beautiful looking shot by Paul Marindet.
Yeah, that's a good take there, and I'm not sure much you can do about that defensively. It's just a better offensive player against good defense.
Lotzenheiser now working off the double team. Finds Reynolds. 15 feet out, Jeffrey Reynolds. What a great freshman season he is having, improving game by game. Hoping to see some fireworks from him on a fast break steal as he can throw it down with ease. Compton trying to split defenders and does, finishes with the right hand, Austin Compton.
Yeah, that's nice. That's two times St. Francis has gone under 5 seconds on the shot clock. Both times they've got buckets, and that's a great take right there.
That's Peyton
DeWilt.
Down low, and Durnell. We got a foul going to go against number 23.
Yeah, missed layup there. Kind of a shove in the back. Gave him an advantage getting the glass. And pretty sure that was an obvious foul call right there.
Checking in for the Cougars now is Antoine Cushenberry, the freshman point guard out of Warren Central. where he won a state championship last year with a 38-0 record with the Warriors, Class 4A in the state of Indiana. Cushenberry, nationally ranked in assist to turnover ratio with a beautiful find. Jeffrey Reynolds down low.
That's a heck of a player. They exploded off that ball screen, forced him to get 2, and dished it off for the easy layup. He's already brought a spark and been in 10 seconds.
DeWilt down to Marindet. Kick out, three-pointer left short. That's an air ball attempt for number 40, Tyler Kaminsky.
Yeah, that's a shot St. Francis would love for them to shoot all night. Tyler not really known for his shooting ability, but left open, I guess give it a fire one time.
Kaminsky entering today averaging 6.9 minutes played per game while shooting 40% from beyond the arc, hitting 2 of 5 on the season. Cush working off the screen. Hunter Hollowell, he can definitely shoot it, but also does a good job penetrating the lane. Nice block there, trailing the play by Barber, but he's going to be called with the foul.
Yeah, and that's Barber's second right there. That's big for St. Francis there to get the best shooter that Spring Arbor has off the court. I'm assuming he'll go out here this early into the first half.
So Lotzenheiser now at the charity stripe on the season, shooting 80%, hitting 84 of 105. Lotzenheiser leads the Cougars in free throws attempted on the season, while Marindet leads Spring Arbor and leads all players, entering today with 111 under his belt.
Man, that's a big risk Spring Arbor's going to take here, leaving Luke Barber out there with 2, but I guess he's a senior. Give him a little bit of trust.
So 18-14, once again, Luke Barber, the third leading scorer on the team, averaging 11.5 points per game, 28.3 minutes played per game. As top of the key, Beckman gives it up to Marindet, has stripped away by Lotzenheiser.
Great defense there from Lotzenheiser. Made him do it, pick it up his dribble, and turn over.
Pump fake. Finds Cushenberry for 3. Drains it. Antoine Cushenberry providing a spark for the Cougs here in relief of Austin Compton.
Yeah, he's got a layup, or got an assist off a ball screen. Nice three-pointer there. St. Francis just moving the ball extremely well right now against these Cougars.
And talk about this play right here. Cushenberry, once again, going around with a wraparound pass.
Yeah, that's just pretty right there. Perfect. Can't teach that. Drew two defenders and hit the open guy for a layup.
Basically the exact same stuff that we've been seeing from Austin Compton as well. You know, with Cushenberry, the ability to not turn the ball over here in his freshman year has allowed him playing time under Coach Lacrosse. Now it's Compton right here. We talk about being sneaky good. He just kind of lulls you to sleep.
He does. He makes you think I wasn't even sure what he's going to do, and then he just makes something out of nothing with 4 seconds left on the shot clock.
So that's why we love Austin Compton, the junior guard for your Cougs. Conlon Martin now, shooter for St. Francis, the sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Bishop Dwenger High School, into the game. Marindet picked up by Lotzenheiser. 13:03 left to play. 17-8 is your score. Cougars coming out hard here, just like they did against Goshen, Bethel, and Indiana Wesleyan, all here at the Hut. 3-point attempt, catch and shoot is left short, rebounded by Lotzenheiser.
Yeah, Spring Arbor's settling for a lot of threes right now. I think if they want to be successful, they got to get it back down inside.
Hollowell finds Cushenberry, and we got a blocking foul going to be called, just extending the knee right there by Beckman.
Yeah, he's doing a heck of a job. He's came in, he's doing a foul, got an assist, and got a 3-ball. So he's providing the spark that St. Francis needed right now, really pushing the tempo.
So checking out of the game will be Kaminsky along with Luke Barber. Hamilton's back in.
As well as Durnell. Durnell checked back in also.
That's Cushenberry working the perimeter with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Antoine pulls up for 3, looking to go 2 of 2, misses that one.
Yeah, if he'd have made that, that'd have been probably about a perfect a start as you could have had entering a ball game.
Handoff goes to Hamilton, pulls up from 17, rims out, rebounded by White. And now it's Cushenberry to push it. Conlon Martin, once again, if he's open, he's got the green light to pull the trigger. Nice move, right-handed hook shot by Chandler White in the lane.
Yeah, Chandler White, he can shoot it, he can attack, he can post you up. Real tough guy to defend, and he can also play defense as well.
For St. Francis, Conlon Martin shooting 44% from beyond the arc. And that's one of the reasons why he's on the floor, as the step-back jumper is no good by Marindet, rebounded by Hollowell.
Spring Arbor can't find much to go here early on.
St. Francis, a lot of people said, a lack of size after the graduation of Linnup this past year, but another nice, strong take by Chandler White. He does a great job of shielding the defender with his body, don't you think?
He does. He's so strong. I mean, he just posted up the last possession, that possession, rolling to the hoop off a ball screen. I mean, he's just so strong and athletic.
But St. Francis has got a lot of help from the freshman Jeffrey Reynolds, along with the transfer David Miller, making up for a lack of height. And when it comes to Jeffrey Reynolds, he can jump out the gym. So even though he's listed at 6'7", he almost plays like he's 6'9".
Yeah, he's got a lot of bounce. He's fun to watch in the fast break, as you were hoping for earlier. Maybe you'll get some of that. Got plenty of basketball game here left.
So once again, Durnell on the floor, held scoreless so far in 9 minutes of play. Leading Spring Arbor right now with 4 points is Marindet. Jump stop from 2 feet out is good.
That's just tough. I mean, that's a tough basket there.
Reynolds now back over to Compton. He's going to sink down to the block, sitting there waiting for him as Beckman, as Jeffrey Reynolds scoots right past him for the easy reverse lane.
Yeah, and you talked about lack of size, but St. Francis is doing an excellent job right now of their mismatch. The Spring Arbor's bigs are having a tough time guarding Chandler, as well as it was Jeffrey, correct?
That was Jeffrey Reynolds.
Jeffrey Reynolds, yeah. I mean, they're working right now on Spring Arbor's bigs.
That's number 2, Jonathan Robinson, a freshman guard out of Jackson, Michigan for Spring Arbor, here on the near wing. Beckman down low looking to post up Reynolds. The jumper is good by Robinson.
Yeah, and that's a great job right there. Jonathan Robinson has not played a ton this year, only averages 3 minutes a game, so maybe they're just looking for some sort of spark from him here.
Martin double team, finds a wide open Chandler White. Skip pass over to Compton, back down to Reynolds. Reynolds doing a great job once again on Beckman with the left hand hook.
I mean, and just like I just said, St. Francis's bigs right now are feeding on Spring Arbor's bigs, which I thought Spring Arbor would have an advantage, but right now St. Francis is taking full advantage of it.
The last time St. Francis had a freshman make the All-Crossroads League freshman team, it was 3-time All-American Bryce Linnup, but I am for certain that Jeffrey Reynolds will make that team this year.
Yeah, he's a heck of a player, and he's performing tonight, and there goes St. Francis again inside.
Martin with a no-look pass as White gets fouled down on the block. It's going to be called against number 4, Tom Hamilton.
Yeah, great look down low. Chandler wide open. We just talked about strong body. Ball fake, gets his man in the air, and he'll go to the line for 2 freebies.
You know, Jeffrey Reynolds in that game against Indiana Wesleyan matching up against Evan Maxwell. You'd have no idea that Maxwell had 2 inches on him because, like I said, he just plays bigger than the 6'7" frame. And once again, just a true freshman, was playing high school ball a year ago.
Yeah, that Maxwell kid, he's great. Transferred in from Kansas. Heck of a player, and I mean, anybody that's going to stand toe-to-toe with him is right up there at that level as well.
So Luke Barber is going to check back in, this time for Beckman, as both free throws are good. White now with 8 points in this game. He is the game's leading scorer. Marindet with 6 leads Spring Arbor. Paul looking to drive on Compton, did a good job. Got some separation there with the left forearm. Now in transition, Reynolds coughs it up there on the block but regains control. Cushenberry is going to sink back to the perimeter. The Cougars this year, seems like anytime they're an underdog going into the game, they're up to the task. As the putback is good by Austin Compton.
Yeah, they're beating Spring Arbor to every loose ball right now. Second chance opportunities. St. Francis is really dominating this game right now, and it shows on the scoreboard as they're up by 17.
29-12. Durnell down low, and turnover going to be called on Brandon Durnell with the walk.
Yeah, we talked about it before. Spring Arbor, I forget the exact, it was at 2014. They have not won here in St. Francis in a long time. And St. Francis is a heck of a team at home. They're 8-1 on the year here, is that correct?
Here at the Hut, the only loss coming against Aquinas.
That's right, that is right. Yep, very good home team. Tough place to play here if you're coming in down the road.
4 turnovers for Spring Arbor, 2 for St. Francis, with 8:27 left to play here in the first half. Reynolds pops back out. Good ball movement, finding wide open. Conlon Martin for 3.
Yeah, St. Francis shooting the heck out of the ball. Spring Arbor cannot defend right now, and that's going to kill them. If they want to get back in this game at all, they're going to need to play some defense.
Cougars with a ton of highlights here. Is that time White up in the air with the swap, but I believe he's going to be called with the foul. It does go against White. That'll be his first and the team's third.
Yeah, good defense there by Chandler to get back. Just a little bit too much body, but up clean. I mean, he definitely had the best of that block.
So it's Tom Hamilton heading to the free throw line, where he's a 78% free throw shooter on the season, hitting 31 of 40 entering today's game. The first one is good. That'll be his third point of the game. Hollowell's going to check into the game as Cushenberry takes a breather. Also exiting the game is Jonathan Robinson for Spring Arbor. Second one by Hamilton is good as well.
Yeah, Denver Cade in here for Spring Arbor, freshman. Didn't get a lot of playing time either, but chance here down 18 for young guys to show what they got.
This is the time to step up and catch the eye of your coach.
Absolutely. Big opportunity here for a lot of these Spring Arbor players.
That's exactly what Reynolds showed in that game against Wesleyan as that one rims out. It's halfway down.
It was. Got a good look there, fading away. I thought it was in. Fortunate there it wasn't for Spring Arbor.
Marindet, nice find, backdoor, number 10, Luke Barber.
Yeah, that was probably Spring Arbor's best offensive possession of the game. But they're going to need to get stops here against this hot shooting St. Francis team. Geez, too many S's here. Both Cougars as well.
That's right. I was talking or joking, I guess, last Saturday that if St. Xavier joined our league, then we'd have Cougars out of Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana.
Yeah, too many of four. What we have here is already enough.
Hollowell back over to Compton. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Alec, you've been talking about it all game, the ability for St. Francis as Compton was able to get that shot off just over the outstretched arm of Spring Arbor as the foul's going to go against, I believe that's number 32, Reynolds. But once again, St. Francis taking the shot clock down almost every single possession before they're going to get a shot off.
They are, and it's got to be extremely frustrating on Spring Arbor. You get down there, you play 25 seconds of good defense, and next thing you know, you give up a wide open layup, and Compton about had another one there as well.
So that's a timeout being taken. Full timeout. We'll be right back with you with more basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today. Well, University of St. Francis is doing it. We said they needed 2 wins here this week, starting with number 8, Spring Arbor, and it's St. Francis up 32-16. Speaking of Spring Arbor, they had a big overtime win on the road against Mount Vernon Nash, 2 overtime win, 90-85, and that was back on January the 8th. So Spring Arbor with some big victories this season. Victories over Marion, Indiana Wesleyan, and Mount Vernon Nash. Bethel as well. So they beat them all. Just inside the arc, jumpers left short by Marindet.
Yeah, Marindet's having a tough time here. I think he's only made 2 shots down low. Really, if you can keep him out of the paint, you're doing your job as a defense.
Marindet currently 2 of 6 from the field. White with the body, fadeaway jumper is good.
Yeah, I mean, these St. Francis bigs, and I mean, you can consider Chandler a guard or a big. They're really having a field day right now. I think they have over half of St. Francis points between Chandler and Jeffrey Reynolds.
Nice lob as it goes into Luke Barber for the easy deuce.
Yeah, it was. It's a freebie there for Spring Arbor, and they need all those they can get at this point.
You know, you talk about Chandler White and his ability to play all positions on the floor, really taking over a role that Austin Fox held Was that 3 years ago when he was the Crossroads League Player of the Year. Compton tried to throw it off. Marindet picks up the loose ball, swatted from behind, but the putback is good by Denver Cade.
Yeah, St. Francis thought they had a block there. However, Spring Arbor got the offensive rebound and put it in and back down to 16.
It was a nice job by White there, trailing the play with the big swat. Left-hand take. Lotzenheiser puts on the brakes with the easy two.
And great patience there. Used the ball fake, got his defender to fly by and finished an easy one.
It's not getting much easier than that for Connor Lotzenheiser. Connor currently now with 5 points. For St. Francis, White with 10. Jernell down low with the right-handed hook.
Yeah, and if you're Spring Arbor, you need to get the ball inside to your bigs and see if you guys can play a little bully ball down there with them.
Brandon Jernell's now 1 of 5 from the field.
There's an offensive foul there on Chandler White. Just shoved Paul Marindet out of the way, trying to clear space there to post up.
Now I want to call Chandler White a bully, but he knows how to use that big body, and he's going to use it.
He does. I mean, he's incredibly strong. Like we said many times, he play all 5 positions, and I'm not sure if that was a flop right there from Paul Marindet, but it worked, and now Chandler, I believe, has 2 fouls on the evening.
So each team now with 5 fouls, just 2 away from the bonus with 5 minutes left to play before the break.
Yeah, it's really been a clean game. Not a ton of fouls. Really had good pace to it so far.
So Marindet walled off. This ball gets swung over to Beckman, right through his hand, picked up by Reynolds.
Freebie there, turnover, and here comes St. Francis back trying to build on their 14-point lead.
Beckman once again, 6 double-doubles on the season. He's the reigning Crossroads League Player of the Week. As Reynolds down low has no problem.
Yeah, there's another one. Jeff is having a tough time tonight on defense and offense, finding a rhythm. See what he's got here these last 24 minutes.
It's number 21, Cade. Had the big shot. Beckman had Reynolds up in the air, nearly lost his pivot foot.
Yeah, he did. I wasn't sure if that was a travel or not, but they did not call it.
A nice strip by Lotzenheiser, but his foot was on the baseline.
A heck of a defensive play there. Paul Marindet very strong, taking it to the rim. Just happened to have a foot on the line.
So that's one thing you're going to get with this St. Francis football team. They are fundamentally sound, and they play hard for head coach Chadley Cross.
They do. I mean, they were ready to go tonight. No question. They were always ready to go at home, but like you said, a big important game and a couple game stretch coming up for them here towards the end of the season.
David Miller now entering the game. He's a transfer from Glen Oaks Community College from White Pigeon, Michigan. As we got a foul, heading to the free throw line will be number 20 for Spring Arbor as the foul goes against Hunter Hollowell.
Yeah, nothing to do there. They did not reset the shot clock on that last play where St. Francis was out of bounds, as I don't think they should have. So there was just 10 on the clock. Made something happen out of nothing there with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and he will go to the free throw line.
Peyton DeWill, a 76% free throw shooter from the charity stripe, hits his first. He's hit 31 of 41 on the season.
Yeah, Peyton, extremely athletic kid, transferred in. I believe he transferred in. He might have actually just came after straight there for his freshman year, but very athletic kid, very streaky player as well.
Well, streaky player can be good or bad, but definitely good if you're a three-point shooter.
Right, for sure. I mean, three-point shooter can throw up 4 in a row. Next thing you know, there's 12 points right there, but same way, the opposite way. You throw up 0 for 4, there's practically like 4 straight turnovers.
And we've seen that at times from St. Francis. Connor Lotzenheiser can get hot. Conlon Martin can get hot. And, of course, Hunter Hollowell. All of them can shoot it from three-point land.
Yeah, if this St. Francis team is making 3 balls, I mean, they're an extremely tough team to beat.
Cushenberry working off a pick by Miller. And going to be called with the travel. Nice defense by Tom Hamilton moving his feet, getting position on Cushenberry.
Yeah, I think St. Francis has gone scoreless here for about 2 minutes. Luckily, Spring Arbor hasn't made up a ton of that. It was an 18-point lead, but down to 14 here, and see what Spring Arbor can do these last 4 minutes of this half.
38-24 your score with 3:48 remaining as Jernell gets it in to Hamilton. A senior. Seems like Spring Arbor's had a Hamilton for like the last 10 years on their squad.
Yeah, Tom's brother Greg played, so they have had a Hamilton here for a while, and both of them have been good.
Jernell's down low, and he's going to be fouled. I believe that's going to go against Miller. It will. David Miller called with the foul.
Yes, St. Francis yelling for a 3-second there. I'm not sure if he did clear the paint or not, so I think they had a pretty good case there for 3 seconds. However, it does go Spring Arbor's way, and Darnell will head to the free throw line.
Brandon Durnell, a 74% free throw shooter, hitting 63 of 85 entering today as that first one rims in.
They got a good roll there. Don't think Spring Arbor has made a three-pointer yet tonight, which, like we talked about, St. Francis has made a couple of them. See if either team can get going. I think there's only been 2 made threes this game.
Yeah, Michigan Cougars 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. Indiana Cougars 2 of 6. As Durnell hits them both, he now has 4 points in this game. Once again, entering today as the team's leading scorer, averaging 16.3. Compton setting up the half-court offense here with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Lob goes down into Reynolds, and just a little bit errant as it was thrown behind him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if as much as Spring Arbor has turned up their defense, St. Francis just seems to be giving away a couple freebies here. But it's down to a 12-point game now.
St. Francis now with 5 turnovers to Spring Arbor's 6. Marindette, Hamlin, little hesitation dribble. Strong Durnell with the putback. Looks like he was calling for goaltending there on Reynolds, but is this going to be a foul?
Yeah,
Lotzenheiser, is that on the floor?
I'm not sure if they had him going up or not. It looks like they do have him going up.
So Brandon Durnell is going to head back to the free throw line where he's a perfect 2 of 2. So the first one's good. That's the 8th team foul there for St. Francis, so that has Spring Arbor in the bonus.
Yeah, these next 3 minutes are huge both ways. If you're Spring Arbor, your goal is to get it down to single digits, and if you're St. Francis, you're looking to get it up in that 12 to 15-point mark. So we'll see who gives here these last 3 minutes.
And Alec, you're a Homestead graduate, the same school that Brandon Durnell came from. What a great basketball program, boys and girls, they have there at Homestead.
Yeah, Coach Chris Johnson is a heck of a job over there, and Aikenbrook as well, that entire staff. And it doesn't matter who they're playing, what their mismatch is, who he has as players. He does a heck of a job over there at Homestead.
And on the girls' side, Rod Parker, long three-pointer off the heel. As going up to get it was number 10, Barber. On the girls' side, Rod Parker and the Lady Spartans from Homestead, one of the top teams in the state this year. As Spring Arbor cuts this lead to 8, Coach Across is going to have to take a timeout here with St. Francis. That's going to be a full timeout, so we'll be right back with you with more Cougar basketball action here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Hutzel Athletic Center. 38-30 is your score. Like you said, Alec, couple turnovers here by St. Francis. Spring Arbor taking advantage.
Yeah, they have. St. Francis, I think, hasn't scored. I think it was 6 minutes 15 maybe, or maybe it was a little bit before then. It's been a while since they've had a bucket. They need to finish out these last 2 minutes strong.
38-22. It's an 8-0 run here by Spring Arbor. The floater's no good by Lotzenheiser. Now on the block, double team there. Did a good job getting out to Cushenberry. Feed goes into Reynolds. Being posted up by Durnell, skates past him, but a little bit short there on the layup as Durnell gets the board.
Yeah, can't credit Spring Arbor's defense there. They did give up a point-blank layup, but St. Francis just missed a freebie there.
Now out of the corner, ball goes right back to Marindette. Sinking down to the block is Durnell. Durnell gives up about an inch to Reynolds, but definitely has some muscle mass on the freshman. Three-pointer, Durnell knocks it down.
Yeah, this lead was 18. It is down to 5, and Spring Arbor has really finished these last 3-4 minutes strong. Got it back within 5 points here.
This is what we saw in the Goshen game as well, as St. Francis is up by as many as 17. Cushenberry doing a good job finishing through contact.
Yeah, St. Francis got back to what they've done the first 14 minutes here of the first half, and that's pounded inside and get layups.
Goshen ended up taking the lead this past Saturday with 2 minutes left to go in the game, but St. Francis was able to fend them off for the victory, holding Goshen winless in the Crossroads League. That was an 87-81 win for your Cougars. Inside, 1 minute to play here, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Marinette currently sitting with 6 points. It's Jernell with a team high 11. Now Compton straight to the cup. Just misses. You know, the shots just aren't falling right now for St. Francis.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, if you're Coach Lacrosse, you're not going to complain about the looks they've gotten. They've gotten a lot of good looks. Just take care of the ball, and things will go better in the second half here.
About a 7-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Marinette happy to let it dwindle down as they're down to 10 seconds down the shot. Out of the corner, catch and shoot three-pointers left short by Connor Cottingham. Now Lotzenheiser, 5 seconds. Looked at the shot clock, game clock, and finishes with the right as the Cougars will take a 42-33 lead into the break. You know, St. Francis there after that, I think it was 11-0 run by Spring Arbor, finished strong here heading into the break.
Yeah, they did. St. Francis, their lead dwindled down to 38-33, but they got in back what they were doing the first 14 minutes, getting those layups, and they've extended it up to 9 here as we go into halftime.
Well, folks, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be right back with you. You're watching Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit summitcitysports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Blood flow restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff, that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center. St. Francis up 42-33 over number 8 ranked Spring Arbor, the first place team in the Crossroads League. Alec, what do you see there in the first half as it pertains to the stats?
Yeah, that first half, the biggest one that jumped out at me was points in the paint. St. Francis has 42 total points. They have 32 points in the paint to Spring Arbor's 10. You got a 22 edge down low where you're going to get layups and pad work down there and finishing. That stat was huge, 32-10 in the paint. Just to go individually, first for the visiting Spring Arbor Cougars, Brandon Jernell, team lead right now with 11 points, 5 boards. Tom Hamilton has 4 points. Luke Barber with 8, and Paul Marindet with 6. And then chipping in some points off the bench, Peyton DeWilt there 2 points off the bench. Both teams shot perfect at the line. Spring Arbor Cougars 10 of 10, and the St. Francis Cougars were 4 of 4 from the line. Now to go back to the individual sets for the University of St. Francis. Jeffrey Reynolds played really well down there, 4 for 7, very efficient, had 8 points in the first half. Chandler White as well, very efficient, 4 of 5, 10 points as well. Connor Lotzenheiser, 4 of 7, extremely efficient, 10 points. Austin Compton threw in 6. Conlon Martin, 3. And then Antoine Cushenberry with 5. St. Francis has a total of 16 team rebounds. Spring Arbor 15. But as also with those points in the paint, another big stat. Total field goal percentage, Spring Arbor is 11 of 30, shooting just 36%. And the St. Francis Cougars are 18 of 30, shooting 60%. So when you got almost a 25 percentage, I guess, what's the word I'm thinking of, 25% advantage from the field, things are going to go your way. And right now the Cougars are up 9. Biggest lead of the half was St. Francis with 8:18 to go in the first half, was up 20 points there. Spring Arbor did a nice job of chipping that away down to 5 actually, and then Spring Arbor gave up 2 late baskets there, and St. Francis took advantage of it with 4 points. So we have a 42-33 score here headed into the second half.
You know, St. Francis really came out on fire in this game. Held a 34-16 lead, which is 6:18 left to play in the first half, but was outscored 17-8, finishing off the first half. What did you see from Spring Arbor that really helped them get back in the game as far as that's concerned?
I think Spring Arbor did a great job of getting the ball inside to their bigs and getting to the line. You shoot 10 free throws in the first half, that's a good number compared to just St. Francis's 4. They got Brandon Durnell involved. They got Paul Marindet went down low. I know he only has 2 shots. He does have a couple free throws. And then Tom Hamilton and Peyton DeWitt got to the line as well. So if you're Spring Arbor, you gotta go down there, try to play a little bit of bully ball, and I know that is tough against St. Francis as they are strong down there. But if you're going to win this game and you're going to get back in it, you've got to get the ball down low, get some easy opportunities, and get to the free throw line.
You know, we've been talking about the play here on the block. Alec, just take us through this play right here.
Yeah, great play there. Feed down to Brandon Durnell. Shot goes up. Offensive rebound. He gets it back. Plenty of patience here, working it down low. Ball fake. Great help over there from Jeffrey Reynolds. Blocks it. Durnell gets it back but has it stolen. I mean, and that's just down low. St. Francis has 4 blocks as a team to Spring Arbor's 1. So Spring Arbor having a tough time down there finishing at the rim when you got Jeffrey Reynolds down there just eating it up. He had 2 blocks in the first half.
And here it is, Austin Compton. We talked about it. Sneaky good. The kid is just a basketball player. You know, in high school, I had some just monumental battles with Yogi Ferrell, so he knows what to do, and he can play with the best of them.
He can. I mean, Yogi Ferrell now in the NBA, I believe he's with the Dallas Mavericks or the Sacramento Kings. I'm not sure. I know it is one of those. But, yeah, Lotzenheiser there making I'm sorry, that was Compton. I apologize. Compton making something out of nothing. 2 times there we talked about, got a shot clock at 4 seconds, finished both of them with the layup, so he's doing an excellent job slicing his way through the lane down there and finishing.
Antoine Cushenberry with 2 assists there in the first half, coming off the bench for St. Francis, as we'll try to get that replay up for you. Take a look at Cush here. Kind of looks like Compton in a sense here, going around the world. The roll down by Reynolds and the wraparound pass.
He does, and he brought a ton of energy. That's a heck of a play right there. Perfect. If you're going to show how to run a ball screen, that's what you want to show there. Stats might not show. He only has 5 points and 1 board. Does have 2 assists, as you talked about. But he brought a lot of energy. This St. Francis basketball team really picked up when he was out there. If we do not have a plus-minus stat, but if we did, I'm sure he'd be in the high-plus side.
Cushenberry, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc. And once again, entering today's game, he's worked himself into the national rankings as Antoine, as I'll pull that up for you here shortly. Cushenberry ranks number 10 in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio at 4.0. So that's one way, you hold on to the rock, you don't turn it over, and you're as athletic as Antoine is. You can see why in his true freshman season here, he's getting a lot of PT for Coach Across, and his minutes just keep picking up game after game.
Yeah, I mean, you're always looking for scoring off the bench, but you don't have to give scoring. If you can come out there, you can compete at a high level, and most importantly, like we just talked about, take care of the basketball. You're not going to win games when you're turning the ball over, and St. Francis did a great job there first half. They did have a stretch where they had 3, I think, in a row, but they only ended the half with 5 turnovers, and if you're Coach Lacrosse, you got to like that.
Paul Marindet there in the first half. 2 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 2 assists. What would you like to see a little bit more of from the outstanding junior point guard?
I think Paul's done a good job of getting to the rim. I think he had a couple blocked there. He has settled a little bit for that mid-range jump shot, which he is great at. But if you're Paul, continue to get other players involved, and then it'll come back to you. Let the game come to you. Don't try to force it. Yeah, he had 8 shots, 2 of 8. Shots they probably normally makes, but, they'll start to fall hopefully here in the second half.
And Brandon Durnell was outstanding there towards the end of the half. He right now leads Spring Arbor with 11 points and 5 rebounds. What was it that clicked in Brandon Durnell there halfway through the first half that really allowed him to excel?
Yeah, he had 2 free throws at the beginning, but then I don't think I think he missed 4 or 5 in a row. I think just that first basket got him engaged, as well as he had a good play, good wall up on the defensive end and came down with a board. And anytime you can get engaged at the defensive end, it usually brings good things towards the offensive end.
So we're just moments away from the start of today's game, folks. Once again, St. Francis will be on the road this Saturday as part of a doubleheader with the women. The women tip off at 1 p.m. at Mount Vernon As. The men tip off at 3 p.m. And then next week at this time, the Cougars will visit the Huntington Foresters. Never an easy place to win for St. Francis. Huntington currently with a 13-7 overall record, 3-5 in Crossroads League play. As the possession arrow is in favor of Spring Arbor, they'll take the ball to start the second half. And it's Marindat once again, that great matchup there with Compton. So many good point guards. Once again, DeMarcus Stuckey, we saw him play for Goshen, one of the top point guards in the country. And then Travion Cruz from Bethel, who played high school ball here in Fort Wayne at Northside, as the three-pointer's no good, rebounded by Chandler White. That was Barber with the miss.
Yeah, Barber trying to get on track there. Maybe a little bit of a forced shot, but team's best shooter, I guess you'll take it.
Compton once again looks over to Coach Cross as they set up the half-court offense. Pick by Reynolds as he floats down to the block. The pick and roll has been pretty with both point guards and Jeffrey Reynolds this game. Now it's Chandler White trying to clear some space, pulls up, 13-foot jumper's no good. Nice offensive board by Compton. Now down low, cannot finish. Loose ball, and it's going to stay with St. Francis.
Yeah, and there's Compton being sneaky again, snuck in there. Arguably the smallest guy on the court, maybe competing there with Tom Hamilton, and probably a category you don't want to compete in. But he got in there, just his hard work got him that St. Francis the extra possession here.
Catch and shoot. Hollowell, no foul called. Incidental contact there on the baseline. Hunter not too happy with it as the feed goes to Durnell, and they're going to call offensive charge on Brandon Durnell. He just didn't get his head turned around fast enough.
Yeah, Paul Marindak kind of put him in a tough spot there. Caught it, tried to get to 2 feet, and Chandler, just being the heads-up basketball player he is, got right in position, took a great charge there. Ball back to St. Francis.
Spring Arbor has 740 rebounds entering today's game, which ranks them number 44 in the country. They have a rebound margin of 5.3 per game. They're out-rebounding their opponents, and they really excel on the defensive boards, where they rank number 14 in the country, averaging 31.7 defensive rebounds per game. So Spring Arbor here getting a kind of a taste of their own medicine against the Cougs as the save goes right to number 4, Hamilton. No look finds Barber. It was Durnell back to Barber for 3.
Yeah, they kind of had to pick there which one they were going to go to, Durnell and Barber, and I think they picked the wrong one. However, both of them shoot over 40-50% in the Crossroads League from 3.
So momentum with Spring Arbor right now, but the Cougars currently hold the 6-point advantage. Out of the corner, Chandler White. White looking to back down. Cannot finish with the lay-in. That's rebounded by Beckman. That was Barber who was backing down. Now it's Marindat who retreats back to the top of the key. Catch and shoot, Barber from the elbow. No good, loose ball picked up by Durnell as the right-handed hook shot falls in for Brandon Durnell.
Yeah, it did fall in there. Both teams getting layups right now. Just St. Francis having a tough time finishing those layups. They've had good looks this entire game. Just going to be a matter of if they can finish those layups.
Hollowell finds Reynolds down low, now looking to back up. Post up, Durnell, and coming in with the steal was Hamilton.
Yeah, that might have been a halftime adjustment there from Spring Arbor, doubling down on the post, and it worked that possession.
Now it's Marindat, one-on-one, straight to the cup, high off glass. We got a timeout going to be taken by Coach Chad Lacrosse, who does not like how this has started. A 30-second timeout as Spring Arbor has whittled that lead down to 2, 42-40 your score.
Yeah, Spring Arbor's done a good job here, held St. Francis scoreless these first 2.5 minutes, and when you're not finishing layups, it is tough to continue to build up a lead in the game, but give credit to Spring Arbor. They have done a nice job of whittling that away and finishing on their end. It's just going to be a matter of if they can continue to get stops or not.
Well, St. Francis has won 8 out of the last 10 meetings against Spring Arbor, including 3 wins that came during the 2017-18 season a year ago. These two teams have routinely met up in the Crossroads League tournament. And the last time that Spring Arbor beat the Cougars was during the 2013-14 season, and that was in the Crossroads League tournament. And that was when Spring Arbor had Rob Hogans and his brother Caleb Hogans.
Yeah, that team was very quick, very fast-paced, very aggressive team.
Rob Hogans, who would routinely lead the Crossroads League in scoring, he's kind of uncharacteristically for a Crossroads League player, but he'd average around 30 a game.
Yeah, he took a lot of shots, and at that point with that team, that's what they needed, and that's what helped them win a couple games.
Lotzenheiser's 3 ball falls just a little bit short. Merendit now finds Durnell out of the corner, and Alec, you said it, Brandon Durnell loves that corner three-pointer.
He does. He comes off a ball screen and he sprints to that corner, and that's his shot. He's most comfortable on the corner. He's not quite the top of the key yet, but he's still young.
Durnell now with 16 points to lead all scores, gives SAU the lead 43-42. And now the block down low as possession will stay with St. Francis, 17 on the shot clock.
Yeah, Spring Arbor just looks very engaged right now defensively, something they did not show in the first half. So I'm guessing they got a great speech there at halftime, or got under their belts a little bit there on got to defend if you're going to compete in basketball games.
Antoine Cushenberry checks into the game for Chandler White. So now you have 2 point guards on the floor for St. Francis. What do you think Coach Lacrosse is looking for here?
Yeah, just more downhill attacking, getting back to that rim, maybe push the tempo a little bit. He came in the first half and provided that spark, and he's looking for him to provide another spark here.
Reynolds in the low post, pushed out by Durnell. Cushenberry pulls up for 3. So quick on that first dribble, that gave him about 4 feet of separation. Cushenberry.
And there that spark is, coming on right where he left off in the first half. Another three-pointer. See what else he's got here in these last 16 minutes.
Antoine is now 2 of 4 from three-point land. Durnell down low. Nice block by Reynolds, picked up by Cushenberry.
That was a heck of a job there by Reynolds. Didn't bite on the ball fake, really stayed down and got that second one.
Now Hunter Hollowell for 3 as it rims out. Rebounded by Durnell.
If you're St. Francis, you'll take that look all day. Best shooter on your team and wide open look, you'll take it.
On the elbow is Hamilton. Step back jumper. That's going to be tipped out against Spring Arbor. It looks like that was Beckman, last player to get a hand on it. Once again, Jeff Beckman, entering today, ranks number 24 in the country, averaging 8.6 rebounds per game. There in the first half, had 2 rebounds to go with 0 points. So timeout taken by Coach Lacrosse here in the Cougs. USF currently shooting 51% from the field, 33% from beyond the arc, and a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line with 22 rebounds. Spring Arbor sitting with 20 rebounds, a perfect 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 3 of 9 from beyond the arc, shooting 39% from the field, but that number keeps on going up with each possession.
It does, and it was at halftime St. Francis was shooting 60%, so they have dropped 10% here in this second half, just made 1 shot. Spring Arbor hasn't climbed a lot, but it has climbed up to 39%. That's why we find ourselves in a 2-point ball game here with 15:50 left.
Other action going on in the Crossroads League. It's Bethel on top of Taylor, 36-31. Bethel currently 14-4 overall, ranked number 16 in the country, but they're sitting in 6th place with a 4-4 record, tied with Taylor, so they really need that win to separate themselves from the end of the pack, if you will, in the Crossroads League. Indiana Wesleyan's beating Grace 48-44, now 50-44. I'd expect that lead to kind of extend as the game goes on for Wesleyan, who now is really getting healthy with Kyle Mangus and Grant Smith coming into midseason form.
Yeah, I'd really expect that lead to get up there in double digits. Indiana wasn't just a fantastic basketball team.
Reynolds down low. Foul going to be called on Durnell. He was straight up there. Jeffrey just got hit on the arm. Ball went flying. He's going to head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Durnell kind of bit there on that first pump fake. I think he got him with his body right there. And St. Francis earns himself a trip to the free throw line.
So for Reynolds, this is his first free throw attempt in this game, as it's good.
Yeah, both teams still perfect from the line. See who's going to give here first and miss the first free throw. But both teams are still shooting a perfect 100%.
Reynolds, a 70% free throw shooter entering today's game, hitting 16 of 23. St. Francis ranks number 30th in the country, averaging a rebound margin of 4.8 per game. So you really have two of the premier rebounding teams in NAIA Division II.
Yeah, you do. Both these teams rebound the ball very well. As you said, especially Spring Arbor on the defensive end and St. Francis both offensively and defensively.
Marindet looks like a foul going to go against Hunter Hollowell, and it does. Hunter, that'll be his third and the team's second.
Yeah, Paul's so crafty there. Not sure if you're going to pull up, jump shot, or drive by. Has the ability to do both, and just drew a foul there. Not much harm there as they'll Spring Arbor just take it out under bounds. However, that is Hunter's third foul.
You know, when you look at both these teams and how well they do rebound the ball, with St. Francis, you're getting a lot of rebounds from guard play. Lotzenheiser, White, Compton, all averaging over, well, nearly 5 rebounds per game. Compton over 5. And then with Spring Arbor, Brandon Durnell averages 7 per game. Beckman at 8.6. They're just two beasts down low.
Yeah, they are. They do a great job of rebounding down there. And if those two aren't getting rebounds, Spring Arbor's usually in a little bit of trouble.
Cushenberry with 5:10 left to play here in the second half, 47-43. St. Francis on top. Virtually held the lead pretty much all game until Durnell's three-pointer earlier in the second half. Drawing contact was Hollowell as that's left short.
Yeah, that was great defense there from Luke Barber. Really jumped vertical. Got that ability to be vertical and not draw a foul there.
Nice find by Marindet. Beckman down low for the easy deuce.
Yeah, good penetration there. Drew 2 and then kicked it out.
Now we got a turnover as it's going to go to Spring Arbor. For St. Francis, their 8th turnover of the game. Spring Arbor currently with 9.
Yeah, St. Francis just had 5 at half, so they have 3 turnovers here in the first 5 minutes and 20 seconds. If they want to continue to lead this basketball game, they got to keep that number down low.
Checking in for Barber is Tom Hamilton, back into the game with 4 points under his belt. Brandon Durnell currently on the sideline for Spring Arbor. It's number 21, Denver Cade with the rock.
Yeah, if Spring Arbor's going to get some offense here, it's either going to be from Paul or probably Jeff Beckman. Anything else they get from somebody is going to be a bonus.
Cushenberry with the defense on the block as the 15-foot jumper rims in for, I believe that was Beckman.
Yep, and there's Jeff Beckman. He was scoreless the first half. Came out here. If Spring Arbor is going to continue to compete in this game, they're going to need Jeff Beckman to get going here offensively and as well as on the defensive glass.
Good, decent-looking crowd here at the hut as the kids just came back from winter break this past Monday. So happy to get the winter semester started, I'm sure. As missing on the scoop shot was Lotzenheiser. Marindet now on the other end. And they got a blocking foul going to go against Antoine Cushenberry. He looks shocked by that.
Yeah, my only guess there would be that he's in the arc. And if he is in that arc, no matter what, it is a blocking foul, I believe. But Spring Arbor got the favorable call there, and Paul Marindet will go to the line for an opportunity at a three-point play. And Spring Arbor ability to get this lead up to 3 for the first time. I believe this is the biggest lead of the day.
We'll take one more look at it. As you see, Cushenberry definitely outside the arc. Looked like he had his feet set with the fouls called.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Looking back at that replay, he was outside, and I think that should have been a charge. So St. Francis a little tough go around there with the refs, as I believe that was a charge.
So Marindet finishes there, the three-point play. 50-47, now Spring Arbor on top, their largest lead of the game. Hollowell did a good job corralling that ball. Conlon Martin 1 of 1 from three-point land, just looking for a little slither so he can get his shot off, as that's going to be kicked. Possession to stay with St. Francis with 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, the referees almost missed that one as well. Clearly a kick ball there by Jeff Beckman. Shot clock will reset to 20, as you said, and St. Francis will have it underneath.
Spring Arbor now up to 44% shooting from the field. St. Francis currently shooting 48%.
Yeah, that margin is really closed there.
Compton working against Meridet. White down low with 10 points. Scoring early and often there in the first half. That one left short. Compton's there with the putback, no good. Gets another offensive board.
Yeah, these St. Francis right now, they are crashing the glass, missing easy shots, but they're getting them again, and there's a 3-ball to fall.
Big three-pointer by Conlin Martin.
That is a huge shot. You miss 2 layups, get a couple offensive rebounds, and you hit a 3-ball. That's very, very big shot there.
50-50, 12-52 now. This game, everything we thought it would be here with St. Francis, knowing they need to pick up some wins this week against 2 tough top 10 ranked teams. And that's going to be a turnover there. Meridet called the travel.
Yes, shuffled his feet down there. He's asking for a foul, but I think he shuffled the feet before that. Kind of surprised there at the beginning when St. Francis did go up by 20. This is more of what we anticipated here. A close game, a battle here for these last 12 minutes.
Up next for Spring Arbor, they'll travel to take on Goshen. Spring Arbor, Brandon Durnell with 4 double-doubles on the season, which ranks him number 5 in the Crossroads League. Beckman with 6 double-doubles, ranks him number 2 in the Crossroads League. And Paul Marendet ranks number 7 in the CL with 3 double-doubles and got an offensive charge.
Yeah, good job there by Paul Marendet sliding over. Hunter Hollowell got up in the air, wasn't sure what to do with it, and it was a charge on this end and a block on another, and I think Coach Lacrosse is just wants a little bit of consistency there.
We'll check it out one more time. There's the drive, and it's like you said, just Marendet had his feet in cement there. One more time with the drive by Hollowell. Looks like he lunged forward and was able to get straight up.
And I do think at both ends there, both of those were a charge. However, just one of them were called a charge. But move on here, 12 minutes and counting left, and 50-50.
St. Francis on the season with 3 double-doubles, 1 apiece from Compton, Lotzenheiser, and White. Marendet, nice, beautiful bounce pass to a darting Peyton DeWilt.
Yeah, great backdoor cut there by Peyton DeWilt, and if you can get open, Paul Marendet will usually find you.
Loose ball, that might have been off Compton's foot. Possession to stay with St. Francis.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whose it was there, and the referee needed to come down safely over Paul Marendet before he can make a call there, but it'll stay with St. Francis.
Spring Arbor doing a good job defensively this year, holding teams to just 70.5 points per game, which ranks them number 14 in the country. They have a scoring margin of a plus 10.9, ranks them number 20th in the country.
Yeah, that's extremely impressive. Anytime you can outscore your opponents at all, let alone by 10.9, that's impressive.
3-pointer left short, tracked down by Durnell. Brandon Durnell now with 8 rebounds to go with his 16 points. He's on the double-double watch. Marendet's shot just inside the arc falls short. Compton looking for White, finds him on the second attempt. Marendet, after taking that first blow by Chandler White, did a good job of getting his hand in there, but Chandler just sticking with it to tie this game up at 52.
He did. Chandler a little too strong there. Another offensive rebound. I think St. Francis up to 5 or 6 here this second half.
Blocked down low, Reynolds. DeWilt gets it out to Durnell. Over to Marendet. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Paul looked at the three-pointer. And that's just inside the arc, left short by Hamilton, who's going to be called with a reach-in.
And not a terrible foul there if you're Spring Arbor. St. Francis was coming down with transition, had a couple ahead of the play, and I think you'll take that foul if you are Spring Arbor.
10:44 left to play here in the second. We are tied at 52. Once again, St. Francis in the last 10 meetings, 8 wins against Spring Arbor. We were thinking back. I know as long as I've been at St. Francis, Spring Arbor's never made the national tournament. It's been since the 2011-2012 season. Reynolds. Once again, those shots were falling for Jeffrey in the first half, just having some struggles down in the low post. St. Francis finding the cup. Beckman back over to Marindet. Beckman's been quiet in this one with 4 points. Good defense there by Compton as the jumper is good.
Yeah, that's a shot Jeff Beckman can really improve this offseason on his jump shooting, even out to the three-point line, but he's sticking with the mid-range now, and Paul doing a good job of finding him there late in the shot clock.
Beckman on the season a 56% shooter from the field, hitting 59 of 105. He said he likes that mid-range.
Yeah, he does. He loves it. He works on it every day in practice, and place he really has gotten comfortable with.
Right hand take, Durnell met Lotzenheiser in the air. Connor with the finish.
That's a tough finish over there. Tall Brandon Durnell did a good job of getting vertical, but Lotzenheiser just a better finish there.
So we're back to being tied. Down low. Marindet now with the muscle on Compton, cannot finish. Austin going the other direction. Quickly gets it up. Lotzenheiser now backing down. Hamilton, as the right-handed shot is good. Lotzenheiser took a hit to the head. He'll head to the free throw line looking for the and one.
Yeah, both of these teams, their guards do a good job of posting up. You see Paul Marindet post up, Chandler White post up, Connor Lotzenheiser post up, Tom Hamilton post up. A lot of these guards are really improving their post play, and it's showing dividends. I mean, these teams are going back and forth, the guards in the post, and just going to come down to which one's going to finish their layups and which one's not.
That was just a big swat to the head there by Durnell, going for the block. For Connor, a perfect 2 of 2. Misses. St. Francis remains with the 56-54 lead.
Yeah, neither team can get it up above 2 points here. We go back 2 points back and forth and then back to tie.
Talk about guards posting up. That's what made Derek Heinen pretty famous here last year for St. Francis, the great point guard who transferred from Huntington University. Big three-pointer, Durnell.
Yeah, from Durnell, he must be having some sort of confidence boost if he's shooting from the top of the key. He's not the best shooter from the top of the key, but it all counts the same towards 3 points.
Brandon Durnell now with 19 points to go with his 8 rebounds as that baseline jumper is good.
And Chandler White. Just when you think, sorry to cut you off there, you got Chandler White figured out going down low. He can step out and hit that mid-range jumper as well. Just a heck of a basketball player.
Spring Arbor doing a good job of pulling some nice players out of the state of Indiana. And you see 2 of them on the floor there with Durnell from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Homestead High School, and Paul Marindet from Warsaw, Indiana, Warsaw High School. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Durnell has that shot blocked by Chandler White. Loose ball, and we got a foul going to be called on Durnell.
Yeah, Durnell was not happy with that foul call. Wasn't sure if he was falling down already, but there it is again. Chandler White with the defense and offense at both ends. He's really come to play tonight.
So here on the replay, you see that swat there by Chandler White. It was contested in the air. And looked like, obviously, a loose ball foul called on Durnell. As the 7:56, we got our media timeout. We'll be right back with you with more Cougar basketball here from the Hub.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hut. St. Francis up 58-57 over Spring Arbor in what really has become a back-and-forth game here in the second half ever since St. Francis went into the break up by 9.
Yeah, it really has. Both teams have gone back and forth. Spring Arbor got their way back in it, got a 3-point lead, and now we've gone back and forth, and St. Francis is up 1 now with last 7 minutes and 56 seconds left here in the ballgame.
Michigan Cougars currently outscoring St. Francis 24-16 here in the second half. Once again, we did see this past Saturday against Goshen as they got their way back into the game, but St. Francis really dominated in the last 2 minutes. as Coach Lacrosse definitely knows how to finish out games with this squad. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Lotzenheiser. Looked like that was nearly tipped by number 33, Daniel Cluster for Spring Arbor.
Yeah, extremely tall there. Did a good job of stretching out and forcing a tough shot there late in the shot clock.
Cluster, a freshman, listed at 6'11", from Watervliet, Michigan.
Yeah, and Cluster right there commits the offensive foul, not set. I think this is his first appearance in the game, so I think it's a tough spot there for a freshman to come in with 7 minutes left, but as we talked about, needed to give Beckman or Durnell a quick spell.
Cluster entering today averaging 5.1 minutes played per game, 2.3 points per game for the freshman. The freshman big. Currently matched up with Reynolds. Coming up from the baseline is Compton. Reynolds now sitting, nice sink to the block. Wide open, Chandler White's three-pointer rims out.
Gosh, and if he makes that, I mean, that's almost impossible to defend. He can shoot the three-ball mid-range and finish in there. It's a good look there for St. Francis.
Cluster down low. Looking for his first 2 points of the game. Right-handed hook shot's no good. Beckman tips it out over to Compton.
Yeah, good possession there for Spring Arbor. Came down, made a good move, just missed it.
Nice block by Marindet down low, as those two have kind of traded blocks on each other. It's been a fun matchup watching Austin Compton and Paul Marindet.
It has two great offensive players as well. Both can hold their own on the defense. Been a fun matchup here. Luckily, we still got 6 minutes left.
Wide open down low, Luke Barber for two to give SAU back the lead, 59-58.
Yeah, slipped down behind the defense there, and here we go, back and forth in a one-point game.
Reynolds, Conlon Martin with the catch-and-shoot three-pointer. Conlon Martin's en fuego from beyond the arc. Now a perfect 3 of 3, 9 points in this game. Cougars take back the lead.
Yeah, Spring Arbor did a good job there defensively at first, but if you're going to lose somebody, I would not want to lose him, as he is one of their better three-point shooters for St. Francis, and he buried it, and St. Francis Cougars take a 2-point lead.
Now let's take another play, or another look at that play. Conlon Martin, they're giving him some space, and it looked like that was number 10 just kind of, I don't want to say falling asleep, Barber. I thought he was going to help with the defense on Reynolds, just kind of sat there. Martin was able to get that cushion, and once again, he's got the stroke working today. Conlon Martin entering today at 44% three-point shooter.
Yeah, and those were my exact words right there, kind of falling asleep. You either got to pick to go to the big or you got to pick to stay with the guard, and he kind of got lost in no man's land there, and it cost him 3 points.
Conlon Martin from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Bishop Dwenger High School. His dad, Todd Martin, an assistant coach for St. Francis. Other assistant coaches for the Cougs, Luke Cummings, the associate head coach, Jeremy Henning, Austin Leisure, Jeff Dollins, and Zach Welklin. Welklin, a University of St. Francis alum and also a Bishop Dwenger alum, same school as Conlon Martin. For Spring Arbor, Brandon Baum, Jim Brown, your assistant coaches for Ryan Cottingham. Spring Arbor doing some nice things there on campus with the revitalization of their gym.
Yeah.
Really making it, a lot of it is just paint and restructuring of bleachers and stuff like that, but they really did a good job of turning it into an arena as opposed to a field house.
They did. Now it's called the McDonald Athletic Center. It looks real nice down there. They do put those sort of bleacher seats, not necessarily bleacher seats, but like movie theater seats in there. It does look much better than what it was before. It definitely needed a renovation.
Conlon Martin called with his second foul. That'll be the team's fourth.
Well, both teams have a couple subs in here. I'm not sure if these coaches are going to ride with this unit or maybe just getting the starters a quick break here, getting them amped up for these last 3-4 minutes.
Marindet down low, one-on-one, just cannot get the jumper to fall. Did a good job of rising up, though.
Yeah, the one-on-one matchups in the first half were falling for both teams, and it seems the one-on-one matchup hasn't been falling lately. So we'll see which team can get back to team basketball and can make some shots here down the stretch in these last 5 minutes.
That was Brandon Johnson with the ball, the true freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana Northside High School. As the Cougars with 3 true freshmen on the floor right now as Cushenberry misses on the triple.
Yeah, Jeffrey Reynolds is doing an excellent job. He might not be scoring right now, but he's doing an excellent job passing out of the post and finding open guys, and that's being successful right now for St. Francis.
Big finish down on the block Peyton DeWilt gets the bucket and one.
Yeah, he got his defender up in the air and just muscled through the contact. And we are back to a tie ball game pending the outcome of this free throw.
Coach Lacrosse, who was an All-American at Tri-State University, which is now Trine when they were in NAIA school. But bigs just do so well here at St. Francis. Bryce Linup, the three-time All-American, that's exactly what he could do, was feed it from the low post. And once again, 3 All-Americans for Bryce Linup out of Columbus East, I believe.
I believe it is. I believe you are correct.
He and Evan Henry were both from Columbus, Indiana, one from Columbus East, one from Columbus North.
Yeah, I mean, I just look up here to my right and see nothing but bigs up there on that All-American. So if you can not only score, but you can pass out of the post is a very underrated trait in the college game.
Yeah, Bryce Linup, Austin Fox, Scotty Cohn, and then the next player is Q Owens, who will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year as Compton finishes down low.
Yeah, both teams going at it here, 63-61 with 4.5 left.
Catch and shoot three-pointer, right rim's no good. And we're going to stay right here as there's a foul going to go against Hunter Hollowell. He can't believe it.
Yeah, is that his 5th foul? I think it is. So Hunter Hollowell has fouled out now.
That's a 6 for St. Francis. We'll look here on the replay. Huntington down in the low post. Hunter, and I didn't see anything there. Did you see it, Alec?
No, the replay's over, and I'm still looking for it.
One more time.
Maybe holding down his left arm, but I don't think not enough to call a foul, especially with 4 minutes left. If you're going to call that now, you should have been calling that the rest of the game.
4:29, like you said, left to play, 63-61. St. Francis on top, looking for a big upset here against the first place team in the Crossroads League. If Wesleyan were to win and Spring Arbor were to lose, they would be in a tie with a 7-2 record for first place as Beckman, once again from inside the arc, knocks it down.
Yeah, there's Beckman right back with that mid-range, very comfortable. Paul Marindet drew 2, found Beckman, and he hit it again for his 3rd mid-range. And we're back to a tie game.
Compton working off the Reynolds pick. Reynolds working against the big freshman, 6'11" Custer. Now it's White with the pick. Switch defense as Beckman's out on Compton. Step back three-pointer's good. Huge 3, Austin Compton.
And there's Compton again. I just look up and that shot clock's at 1 and 2, and ball's in his hand yet again and yet again. He makes the the Spring Arbor Cougars pay.
You really don't get nervous when the ball's in Compton's hand. That time, Marindet could not finish at the cup. Paul is now 4 of 14 shooting from the field, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Oh, he's well on his way to his 4th double-double of the season if he can pick up 2 more assists. White, right-handed hook shot, left short. Reynolds, that's what he's been doing all year, making that extra tip to give his team a chance for the offensive board. Marindet, though, stole it away. Catch and shoot, 15-footer is good.
Yep, and there's Jeff Beckman again at that mid-range. Just going to be a matter of which team can get some stops here coming down these last 2:54 as St. Francis is up 1.
Full timeout called by Marion. We'll be right back with you with more Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hut. St. Francis leading at 66-65. Alec, looking last year, the great point guard from Huntington, Mike Bush, led the Crossroads League with 11 double-doubles. And it's not all that often. I'd say it's more common to see points and rebounds than points and assists. but Bush was able to do it last year, and now Marindet with 3 this year, doing it with the dimes and the buckets.
Yeah, big thing for point guards. Yeah, you want to be able to score, but if you can't get those other guys involved, then you're not really doing your job at the college level. So Marindet has really stepped up, getting other guys involved, and we got a heck of a ball game here on our end.
Austin Compton back over to Cushenberry. So 2 guards, a smaller lineup for St. Francis, as the big on the floor is Chandler White at 6'3".
Yeah, Cushenberry's really earned himself some minutes here, and now he's going to finish out this what looks to be these last 2 minutes here of the ball game.
Nice skip pass over to Martin for 3. That one left short, right at the buzzer, but another offensive rebound by Austin Compton.
That's Compton. In the first half, St. Francis only had 5 offensive rebounds. They have to be up there this second half with offensive rebounds. I would be maybe 8 to 10. They're really dominating the glass this second half.
Compton now with 7 rebounds in this game. That's the 9th offensive rebound for St. Francis in the game. 8 for Spring Arbor.
Yeah, there's just an unlucky drive there. Compton trying to make something happen, just dribbled off his foot. Really unlucky there for St. Francis. Both teams have gone back to their starting lineup. Is that correct?
For St. Francis, you got your starting 5 outside of Conlon Martin.
Yep, that's right.
Usually Hollowell would be in there, but he's on the bench with 5 fouls.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's my fault. I should be able to know that he can't go out there.
And a big 3-pointer by Luke Barber.
Yeah, he hasn't only had 1 so far this game, and kid that's not afraid to take the shot.
Inside 2 minutes to play, a 2-point advantage. Nice spin move. Reynolds finishes off glass.
Yeah, Reynolds had a tough second half as far as scoring goes. Really got other players involved. Just made a nice quick move there, and he finished and tied this ball game back up.
Now it's Marindet. Once again, has been looking to get to the cup all second half, just having a hard time finishing, doing a good job getting there. With Spring Arbor, it's been the mid-range shooting of Beckman. Jernell's been quiet a little bit as well, but the right-handed hook shot that time does pop out.
Yeah, Beckman turned out of mid-range there, got it to Jernell with 5 on the shot clock, just couldn't finish. So coming up on a minute left here.
And we got a timeout going to be taken by Coach Chad Lacrosse.
Yeah, both teams have a handful of timeouts here. St. Francis with 3, Spring Arbor with 4. So a lot of game planning going on here, and see what these coaches can draw up and which program is going to execute better.
Talk about Jeffrey Reynolds here on this play. So quick down low for the big at 6'7".
Yeah, I feel like the rest of this first half, or the rest of the second half, sorry, he's been hesitating a little bit to make his move, kind of seeing where his defender is. There he took 1 dribble, got to his spot, nice spin move and a beautiful finish. So did not hesitate on that at all.
Once again, if anybody's listening from the Crossroads League, would love to see some kind of CL dunk contest. Not sure how they would facilitate that, but Austin Compton here with a little bit of cushion, step back, drains it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Spring Arbor, what else are you going to do there? There's 3 on the shot clock. You got the switch, fadeaway jump shot, and Compton's doing what Compton does. Late shot clock, late game. He's finishing, taking care of it.
Compton 5 of 12 from the field with 11 points to go with his 7 rebounds. So getting it done in many facets of the game for Compton. And this one right here, we talked about this earlier, but Conlon Martin's just been stepping up big. He's a role player. He shoots 3-pointers. That's what he does. That one there from about 26 feet out. And you can see he's jacked, which is getting his team pumped. And the St. Francis needs it here. 1:05 left to play, tied at 68. Hamilton with the defense on Compton. It's Reynolds down low being guarded by Jeffrey Beckman. Beckman, once again, just a junior. Last year led Spring Arbor in double-doubles. Doing it again this year. Compton's 3-pointer, that went off the heel. As Beckman goes up to get it, swiped away by Chandler White. Fresh 30 on the shot clock, about 11-second difference between the game and the shot.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a little bit more of a Compton magic there at the end of the buzzer, but Spring Arbor couldn't corral the the defensive rebound, and St. Francis with yet another offensive rebound.
And now another timeout going to be called by Coach Lacrosse with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. It's a full timeout. We'll be right back with you with more Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my fort.
The chapel project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Welcome back, everybody. Hutzel Athletic Center. And this is a classic Crossroads League matchup here. Spring Arbor looking to take their second win against St. Francis on the season. Did beat the Cougars back on December 1st to open Crossroads League play, November the 20th. And that was an 82-67 win. Dominant performance by Spring Arbor. White down low is going to be fouled and will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, St. Francis got a couple good looks there. Drew up a play, got an offensive rebound, pulled it out. Drew up another good play to get Chandler in the post there. He will go to the line, and Spring Arbor will have their chance, whether it's down 1-2 or tied, and my guess is they'll be looking for the last shot.
You know, in that first matchup, Spring Arbor out-rebounding St. Francis 37-24, 15-5 in the assist category as well.
Yeah, St. Francis is out-rebounding Spring Arbor tonight 36-20 or 36-32. Big part of that has been their offensive rebounds.
Chandler White sinks them both to give St. Francis a 2-point lead, and now it's a full timeout going to be taken by Spring Arbor. Alec, what do they need to do here with 19.9 seconds remaining? You just take the best open shot, or are you looking for a three to finish this game?
I don't know, but I know that Paul Marinette has not had the best game. My guess would be some sort of ball screen with either Jeff Beckman or Brandon Jernell. Let Paul create. If he can go get a layup, let him get a layup. If not, you do have Beckman's mid-range that has been perfect so far in the second half. And you do have some shooters out there. You got Luke Barber, but my best bet would be the ball in Paul Marinette's hand, and you'll go as your best player goes. And if he makes it, great. If not, you're going to trust your point guard and get the ball into somebody else's hands for a tying shot or game-winning shot.
You know, Marinette, you're absolutely right, has been doing a great job this game of being able to get to the cup. Finishing has been another issue there as he's 4 of 14 from the field. But Jeff Beckman, especially in the second half, he's been knocking them down from 19, 18 feet. He's 5 of 6 from the field with 10 points and 7 rebounds. So if Marinette can penetrate and get some space for a shooter, Beckman, but we also know that the other big, Jernell, can hit those shots as well. Brandon is currently 3 of 4 from three-point land.
Yeah, not sure what Spring Arbor will do here. My guess, like I said, is some sort of ball screen. Probably try for a 2. If you got an open 3, you take that open 3, you're on the road, and here we go.
And Luke Barber's on the floor. He wears number 10. He's 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, currently on the baseline, being guarded by Lotzenheiser. 9 seconds. Marinette finds Jernell. Handoff once again, taking a little bit too much time here. Jernell wide open, top of the key three-pointer, and that will do it as Brandon Jernell and the Cougars are going to win it 71-70.
Wow, oh wow. Welcome back to Fort Wayne, Brandon Jernell. He did pull from 3 from the top of the key, and they did run some sort of ball screen, and Paul Marinette facilitated, and I believe got his 11th assist of the night.
Well, Alec, like we were saying, Brandon Jernell, 3 of 4. He's been hot shooting from three-point land. Now he is 4 of 5 in this game with 22 points. Looking at the stats here, shows an evenly matched game, and it certainly was. It's just Spring Arbor had the juice at the end.
Yeah, I mean, both teams shot 45%. I mean, how much closer can you get? Both teams shot 45%. Both teams made 6-3. Spring Arbor had a little bit of an edge at the free throw line, but still Spring Arbor St. Francis only missed 1. It just came down to one play, and they threw up a shot and it went in. And I mean that's good for Spring Arbor, but that's a great game. And if I'm going to watch Crossroads League basketball or basketball at any level, I want to watch games like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Your Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game for St. Francis is Chandler White. He finishes with 16 points and 10 rebounds for a second double-double of the season, going 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Conlon Martin with 9 points. He was 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Lotzenheiser with 14 points. Antoine Cushenberry with 8. Compton with 11, Reynolds with 12. For St. Francis, Compton also had 7 rebounds, the second most for the Cougars. For Spring Arbor, Jonathan Robinson, the freshman, with 2 points, 4 for Hamilton, 16 for Barber. Barber was 7 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc with 2 or 4 rebounds as well. Marindet, 11 points and 11 assists. So that's his 4th double-double of the season for Paul Marindet. Peyton DeWilt had 6 points, 22 for Brandon Durnell. He had 8 rebounds. He was your Spring Arbor player of the game for sure with that game-winning three-pointer. Jeff Beckman with 10 points, 7 rebounds. And that's your scoring here in this game. Final thoughts here, Alec?
I just thought that second half, St. Francis, I thought they probably deserved to come out with it. You know, they had a lot of offensive rebounds, just couldn't finish there. And the one stat I really overlooked was Jeff Beckman, as we talked about, 0 points in the first half. Came out, had 10 big ones in the second half, 5 for 6, and I did not realize Luke Barber was 7 of 8 from the floor either. But Chandler White had a heck of a game, just doing Chandler White things. And like I said, that was a heck of a ball game there between two great teams that hopefully both of them can make the tournament. St. Francis really deserves it. They got a lot of top 25 wins, and hopefully they can get a lot more of those down the stretch here.
Yeah, and Beckman now just super efficient there in the second half. Once again, you talked about top 25 wins. Spring Arbor is now 6-1 on the season against top 25 teams. St. Francis will fall to 6-4 against top 25 teams. Overall, your Cougars now 12-9 and 5-4 in the Crossroads League. Spring Arbor will remain in first place. They're now 18-3 overall, 8-1 in conference play. We had Josie Murphy on the camera. My name is Jeff Mahoney, and with me was Alec Hammond today. Hey, I appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Called some games at Spring Arbor there, and he is in 2018 graduate of Spring Arbor, so we appreciate his insight. And folks, once again, we're going to be off for the next 2 games for the men's team. Next Saturday, we will be back with you as St. Francis will host Taylor University here at the Hut on January the 26th. Thanks again for joining us.